Good evening. We are live. We are live. We are live. Wherever you're watching this right now, before we even say who we are, I want you to share this on your Facebook. I want you to share this on your Instagram. I need you to tell everybody to get in this conversation. Tell your auntie, tell your uncle, tell your niece, whoever it is, tell them to get in the conversation right now. We are going to be talking about some amazing stuff tonight. The making of Convention 2020. We are live. We are live. Wherever you're watching this right now. Jesus have mercy. What is that, brother? Who is that? No. Come on. We're buying that spirit, that Teddy Riley spirit. We're buying it right now. All right. Yeah, we're here. We're live. We are live. Welcome to the making of Convention 2020. Tonight, we're going to be talking to Salient Sounds. You feel the anointing when you say that already. Salient Sounds, Frontline, and the band. It's going to be absolutely bananas in here tonight. I've got some amazing people in here with me, and I want them to just go around and introduce themselves one by one. I want to start with my brother from another mother. He's on the bottom of my screen. But my brother Izzy, I want you to, well, I said your name, but bro, tell us who you are, what you did, and how you took part in Convention 2020.
Cool. My name's Azariah, otherwise known as Izzy. I play keyboards for this convention. I MD'd the band and mixed the videos, the Raise and Worship videos for Salient Sound. Sick.
All right, next to him at the bottom, I don't know if it's the same on your screen, but we have our psalmist of the hour. My God, Brother Jonathan, come on, talk to us. Tell us who you are and what you did.
Oh gosh, my name is Jonathan Mongi. I head up Salient Sound alongside Jermaine. For this convention, I sang on the songs that you heard. I led a couple of them. So yeah, it's just recording stuff at home and the challenges of dealing with recording stuff in your house. So yeah, that's me.
All right. Just a little up from my brother Jonathan I've known this guy longer than I can't even tell you how long I've known him. He's got gray hairs now. I was just saying, you know what, I want some gray hairs next. But my brother Jerome, come on, talk to us. Tell us what you did at convention, Jerome.
All right. So I'm Jerome Buckner. I'm former director of Frontline, and I was involved in terms of, well, getting the recordings, or more of the admin side of getting the recordings in for the Frontline submission for Love Flip. So that's what
Excellent. All right. Next to him, we have the man himself. This guy, he just does everything. He's not just the singer. He's not just the dad. He does everything. Sir Jermaine, talk to us.
That's so funny. I was expecting someone else. Well, as you said, my name is Jermaine, JC Henry. I cover quite a few things in terms of the editing of the Salient Sound videos, and I've sung on some of them. And in terms of just managing the different social media platforms that we had for the actual convention and that we currently run. Those are the areas that I was managing and taking part in.
Excellent. All right, right next to him on my screen anyway, it's the Queen herself, the only lady we have in the chat tonight, and she's going to make sure that we stay in check and we're not saying anything wrong. I believe that this is going to be the person that is going to back us up, well, back me up anyway. I say, Adrian, you need to hold it down. Sister Carolyn, talk to us.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name's Carolyn Henry, and I'm the director for Frontline and co-wrote the song Love Flip and was involved in the whole organisation of that virtual stuff. So, yeah.
Dope. All right. I keep saying it like you lot can see my screen and it's just going bam, bam, bam. My apologies. But right next to, well, no, it's up from Carolyn, is my namesake. This guy, he is my namesake, and he does things better than me, but it's fine, don't worry. Adrian, talk to me. What are you saying to me, bro? What did you do at convention?
What's good, people? It's Adrian Howe. I guess I'm kind of like the imposter in this group today because I'm not part of the band. I'm not a singer. but I put together the video for Love Flip for Frontline, and I'm sure I'll talk about that at some point today.
Sick. Now there's 2 Adrians in there, so that's double trouble. It's double trouble. 2 Adrians, it's double trouble. But yeah, right next to me, he's honestly one of my favorite keyboard players. I'm waiting for him to release his own keyboard piano album, whatever you want to call it. Sir David Davis, talk to us. How are you, bro?
Hey everyone. My name is David Davis. Yeah, I played Hammond in the convention and mixed the quiet song Love Flip.
Excellent. You know what? I don't like how the rock people started turning up on the YouTube real quick. The rock was like, yes, man, like how everybody saying yes, Adrian, how no. There's 2 Adrians in there. Come on, put some respect on my name, please. All right, guys, we're gonna get straight into it. Like, I know this is gonna be a great conversation. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna get into some seriousness. We're gonna have a good time tonight. So as we've still got time, please share this. Tell everybody to join this conversation. Tell everybody to get involved right now. This is the making of Convention 2020. I'm talking to Salient Sounds tonight. I'm talking to the Frontline. I'm talking to the band and Adrian Howe. That's how we're gonna flip it. Right? We're gonna flip it like that. So we're gonna get straight into it. Like honestly, like those that seen Convention. Jermaine, how many views has it got right now? Because you're the man that will tell me all this information. Like you'll just say, yeah, it's got 20,000. I know you're that guy, Jermaine.
You know what? I haven't got a specific number.
Don't let me down, man.
All I can say is it's over 25,000. That's all I know.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So we have plus 25,000 views, and I know everybody that was involved did an amazing job from the very start to the very finish of it. Everything looked amazing. Like I was glued to the TV, the family was glued to the TV. Like everybody was like, you know what? Yeah, we need to watch Convention. But people wanted to know what happened behind the scenes. So tonight we're gonna get into it. So one of the first questions, because I don't want to waste any time, one of the first questions I want to throw out there is, how did you get into your area of discipline? So I'm gonna ask that to let's go Jonathan first. How did you get into your area of everything that you focused on?
Oh dear, man. How did I get to? I guess at my local church. My local church is a place where you, growing up, you had to serve, you had to do something. There wasn't very many of us in the beginning, so you had to make sure that you were skilled in some way, some discipline, whether that's singing on a choir, playing an instrument, whatever it was. And so I guess from early on, I had some ability to hold a note. And so therefore I moved and progressed in worship ministry. One kind of story that we have is that there was one youth day that we had at my church. Let's just say maybe the senior worship team, shall we say, weren't necessarily doing working to the best of their ability at the time. So many years ago, talking over like 15 years ago.
Don't sugarcoat it, man.
I'm not sugarcoating, bro.
We're on a Tuesday to that, bro. If they would drop it off, they'll drop it off.
About 15, maybe 16, 17 years ago. And I remember the late, great Pastor Reverend Hall, one of the true pioneers of the New Testament Church of God, one of the first female ministers. Anyway, she effectively, we had the youth day, we'd set up a youth worship team and all this kind of stuff. And effectively, she sacked the worship team at the youth day and said, this is now the worship team for the church. Wow. So therefore, from that, we came from that. So, okay, we were just putting together youth day. Now we're the worship team. Do you know what I mean? Wow. And so growing up under that kind of like discipline, that like now you've got a responsibility. You need to take this from being a talent and understand that you're gifted. And there's a big difference between gifted and talented. And so you might have a talent to do something, but you're not necessarily gifted to do that thing. And so we developed the gift, we did what we needed to do, and that's kind of here we are today.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Let me throw it to Caroline. I'm gonna throw it to you. Well, how did you get into your area? I'm gonna come back to what you said, Jonathan, in a second, but I'm gonna throw it out to a couple people because there's a few bits I want to pick out of what you said. But how did you get into it?
I would say probably similar to Jonathan, because I was directing our district youth mass choir for a few years, quite a few years, but it was like during my 20s.
Yeah.
And then I kind of stopped choir for a while whilst I was district youth director. And then according to Reverend Marcel, who's our national youth director, he just said I was moderating on a Sunday at National Youth Convention. He saw me up there and he just said, Holy Spirit said to him that I'm the next youth mass choir director. And he actually had that from a kind of divine sound, because he hadn't heard me sing. He didn't even know that I had anything to do with choirs or had any knowledge to do with harmonies or anything like that. So yeah, it kind of, that's where it started really. But it's all about stirring up the gift in the areas where you are, you know. So yeah.
Oh my God, no, that's amazing to hear how, you know, he heard that and he wasn't watching you do anything that musical to that degree. That's amazing.
He didn't even know me.
Wow, look at that. Wow, look at God. That's amazing. David Davis, I'm gonna throw this out to you, sir. And I'm gonna get back into those points. Sir David, and we're gonna get back into it.
Yes, sir. So started playing music from a young age. I started playing at Lee when I was 10 or 11. Started ministering at a national level through Isaiah's mum, Lydia, she used to do a production.
I remember those productions. Those are sick.
Yeah, so I kind of came through that. And then kind of soon after started playing National Youth Convention. And yeah, Isaiah asked me to be part of the team this year. Obviously I said yes. You know what I mean?
Sweet. So did you face any challenges, would you say, in regards to your earlier years in music? I know Jonathan said that, you know, there was an older worship team that got sacked, and, you know, Caroline said she was ready to just give it up. So what did you
Caroline, let's establish this. It's all right. Just saying. It's really important to me.
Oh my God. Caroline, we're live, you know. We're live.
I know.
You can
That's okay.
private message me in the chat.
Everyone.
Just private message me in the chat and just say it's Lynn. Yeah? All right.
I'm sorry.
All right. I love you still. All right. I still love you. All right. I'm going to make sure I emphasize the Lynn. All right. Caroline was saying that, so yeah, bro, did you face any changes or anything like that? Any challenges, sorry?
Challenges? Not that I can remember, you know.
Really? The easy life, bro. I wish I had that life, bro.
Yeah, we had a really, really good system going on at Lee. So Steve Yards, as I was the music director at the time. And he brought me on board, and they were really instrumental in just kind of bringing us up and showing us the ropes. Yeah, it was excellent. There's no challenges I can think of right now.
All right. So to jump back to Jonathan real quick, you said that basically there was an older worship team. At that time, bro, did you feel like you was being held back or anything to that degree? Or did you feel like the team that was in place at the time, they was never going to go anywhere? How did you feel in that process? Because sometimes people don't, like, we will say these things and we'll just say them out loud and say, you know, there was this challenge, but then we just overcame it like that. Like, how did you feel in that process?
I think that that my story isn't that story of feeling as if that we didn't have space to do stuff. I know that's many people's story, but in our view, it wasn't necessarily that we had opportunities to exercise our gifts. They may not have been on a Sunday morning. They may not have been in main service. They may not have been all the, do you know what I mean? All the things that make people want them to be. But we had youth service, we had youth nights, we had all this kind of stuff. So therefore, because we had an opportunity to do that in that context, we weren't frustrated or like, oh, when is it going to be my turn to whatever? That I'm just saying that was. I'm not saying that's some people's story. It just wasn't my story or the team's story. So when that, so even when we were watching the worship team not necessarily do as well as they possibly could have, there still wasn't that kind of it wasn't an anger or bitterness to say, I know I can do better, so why is it not my, that wasn't really the case, because we had room to deliver ministry in another context. And I think that was a good lesson that we learned, that, or God just graced us with that, because we never were trying to jostle and fight for anything. It was, and then when it happened, like literally, I'm telling you, it was on the youth day that in the church, that it was in the set. I just think that this needs to be the worship team. It was just one of those like, this is it now. Do you know what I mean? Like, and to be fair, there was a period of transition, because we still worked with together with the older team, etc. Because we were really young. Do you know what I mean? We were really, really young. But our pastor had seen something in us that knew that needed to come out. And so we still worked with them, and they would still, there was one or two who were really strong. So let me put that out there, who would come and they'd sort of come beside us, so to speak. But I think, it was a good transition. It was managed well. And sometimes in church things are not managed well. And those are the stories we hear a lot. So let me put out a new narrative that actually there are times when things can be managed well. And you do actually get to a place where you can understand each side of the coin. Some people do that ministry a long time. You don't want to boot them out and say out with the, do you know what I mean? There's got to be a way to manage the transition. So though my pastor was very like that, there was a transitional process which then led to, okay, these guys are just running the thing now.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. Caroline, I wanted to just ask how you felt. You said that you felt like you was gonna give up at one point, or not give up. You was just kind of like, you're gonna push that to the side a little bit. What was you feeling? What was it that you was overwhelmed? Was it that, it was too much? Was it long? Like what? Talk to us. Tell us how, because what I want to get, and I want people to understand tonight, as much as we're talking about convention, there is a process to get to the point where you're on a stage at convention. And through that point, like people go through emotions, people go through different feelings. People might face like depression. I don't know. But, just let the people hear what's going on.
That's a really good point to raise, Adrian, because you're right, it's a journey.
Definitely.
In all honesty, it's hard to even remember. No one's asked me this question before. I think maybe I was starting to feel a little bit pigeonholed, maybe. Just doing the same thing all the time, choir. I really loved, I was very passionate, I enjoyed doing it. But I think in myself, it just started to feel a bit like this was all I was, people just knew, Carolyn's going to direct the choir kind of thing. I can't even remember the specific time when I was like, that's it. I can't even talk about that time. But I think, one thing that is amazing is that you don't realize that even if you are doing something that at the time you might get to a point where it feels a bit repetitive, you don't realize what is being stirred within you, what that seed is really for. Because in all honesty, the things that I do in Frontline, I'm kind of drawing from the experiences I've had when I was in my 20s doing the district youth mass choir, no lie, because I've not had any other experience to draw from. Unlike Jerome, who's got a whole lot more experience than myself with directing choir, do you know what I mean? So yeah.
Been directing from 6 a.m. in the morning. That's how long Jerome's been directing.
I think Jerome was directing from the womb.
Really? You know what? I'll give you that. You're right. You're probably right. You're probably right. So I'm gonna move on to the next question right now, because I want us to get into some good stuff. So I'm trying to navigate through the best I can. Yeah. So I'm gonna throw this to Isaiah first, yeah, because I know he had a lot to do and he's sitting there like, when's man gonna ask me a question? You know, Isaiah don't open his mouth when he's talking. So he's sitting there like, yo, when's man gonna ask me a question? So Isaiah, bro, like who called you first and said, yo, man, I want to do a convention online, like, how did you feel when that first phone call came in to say, yo, man, like, we're gonna do convention online, like what was your initial thoughts, bruv?
I think myself, Phil, Jermaine, and Naomi were in the Zoom call.
Yeah.
And then I think it was just very early days, but initial talks about how we can do praise and worship. And I think the idea was just to take old clips from previous years, and I was like, nah, that's dead. That's dead. It's not just like, as a viewer.
You know, I was waiting for you to say that. Nah, yeah. That's dead. That's dead.
Me as a viewer, I wouldn't enjoy that. It's not the same. So
yeah.
Like, well, we can do like the vids, because I think back then that was like the early days and people just started to do that. I think we just did ours with the National Church, and I was do those, and then from there, that's how we ended up with doing videos.
So would you say that you was excited about it, or what would you say was your emotions when they said, yo, we're gonna do it, actually gonna do it?
Yeah, I guess I was excited. I mean, it's a different headspace.
Yeah.
Because I guess when you, in the typical convention, you rehearse, and then you come together, and then you're in the building. Now this is almost like producing a record.
Yeah.
Like you're not producing in the sense of that you have so much control to be like, play this, but you're doing it over the internet. Like, I'm recording, I'm sending it to someone else to record, and then recording.
Yeah.
That's a different level of trust. Like,
yeah, of course.
I'm not in the room with them, and it just felt like I was producing a record. So, but I was careful not to be so strict and rigid, so it still felt like church as opposed to you listening to an album or something like that.
Yeah. No, well, that's the truth, bro. That's what's up. And I think sometimes it's that level of trust to say, yo, guys, here's my baby. Like, yo, go and do the thing. You know what I mean? Like, I know when we did the national one, I didn't have any issues because I'm saying, yeah, man, whatever, man. If whatever Ivy's plays, yeah, I'm nice, whatever. But I think sometimes when you're opening up to such a big field and it's like, oh, we don't normally do this without, you know what I mean? So I can understand your feelings and processing that. Jermaine, your initial thoughts, what was it when you heard, or I don't know if you was one of the ones that suggested, yo, let's do this convention online? Like, what was your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, to be honest with you, it's funny because the original like conversation kind of was to deliver it many weeks earlier than it was planned.
Wow.
Like, as in how it actually eventually went out.
Yeah.
And just like, okay, kind of being involved in the process like early, and I'm like, yeah, that's not going to run, because if we're going to deliver what we want to deliver, we're not going to be able to do that in that short space of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm glad being part of the process from a lot earlier on, so that we can actually, although the convention was delivered in quite a short space of time, that time span was able to I don't know, have loads of people contributing, and obviously everyone saw the credits. There's a whole list of names, man. So kind of being brought in a lot earlier into the process, having those early conversations, I think benefited just generally that whole line of thought and different ways of creatively making this thing work. So to answer your question, like how was it from my side? It was crazy, like, because it was crazy, because it's like, okay, what are we going to do? How can it be done? And who can actually deliver these things? And it's like, our church is ridiculously talented. Like, there's so many. I mean, we've got Adrian here, is fantastic in terms of creative as a editor and all those things. We've got all kinds of other guys that we spoke last week with.
You're talking about the other Adrian as well. Sorry, I just wanted to do that.
Told you. And of course, that there's working with Isaiah. I mean, I've been working with Isaiah for years, but on this kind of project, it was so fun. Like, genuinely enjoyed the whole process, man. And I think dropping, like, even I think there was a teaser that I posted up on our Insta and our Facebook as well, like of one of the songs. I can't remember what the song was, or I don't know if you remember, but it's like I think Levi must have just done this little run or something on the bass, and I was like, yo, this is actually going to kick off. Like, as in, like, just the reality of we're all able to do this thing remotely, but the level of excellence is so high, you know, as in, like, because this is much earlier on in the whole lockdown, so not like now where I can probably not go to your yard and be like, what's good, without feeling like I'm breaking the law, you know what I mean? So everyone's locked up in their house, everyone's locked up in their room, but like Levi's killing it in his thing, David's killing it in his yard, everyone in terms of singers and stuff, like the process is stressful, you know, like everyone's trying to make this thing work, but when you bring it all together, it's incredible, man. So yeah, man, it was fun, but it was stressful, time constraints, all that kind of stuff. I mentioned last week my old MacBook broke. I had to get a new one. And all that, well, it didn't break, so for what I needed it to do, it wasn't hitting it. So it's like, okay, I need to get a new one, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was great. It was great, man. Yeah.
Dope. All right. I'm gonna throw this question out here. I'm gonna throw this to Adrian. Everybody's gonna answer this question right here. I want you to walk us through the editing, creating process for yourself, sir. We're going deep. What software did you use? Talk to me, bro. Talk to me about your process, because I know how many videos is in the lab.
So yeah, the first part. I remember when Carolyn came to me and talked about the whole thing, and you know, the idea and all the rest of it. One of her first questions was, "Oh, you know, how many people do you think we should have in the choir?" And blah blah blah. Bearing in mind, let me tell you that I've never done a video like that ever.
Really?
Never, ever.
Wow.
So I'm winging it. I'm winging it at the minute. So Carolyn asked me the question. I'm like, how much can my laptop take? I said, call it 24 people. Lo and behold, about 4 weeks later, and at the end process, I've counted about 55 different videos.
Wow.
Yeah, somehow my laptop managed to keep going.
That's a miracle. That's a miracle.
Big up Windows. Not even a Mac thing. Big up Windows.
Carolyn, you said that you wanted to. You had your hand up there, Carolyn. Oh, can you unmute for us, Carolyn?
I was just saying amen. I was saying
wonderful.
amen.
Thanks, Carolyn. You can mute.
There's a whole story, so I'll wait till my turn. You know what I mean?
Thanks, Carolyn. Yes, no worries. Thanks, Carolyn. Yeah, go ahead, Adrian. Go on,
so the process was very long-winded, to be honest, and like I said, because I've never done it before, it was actually very daunting, if I'm completely honest. Very, very daunting. I was trying to think of how I'm going to put it together, how it's gonna look, how it's gonna be laid out, all of those things. So I'm coming from a design background, so the video editing thing was something that I've really picked up mainly because of lockdown.
Wow.
And editing for church and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just to be specific, I've got a shout out my rock. So
oh my god. As if they will let me give you up at the beginning, Adrian. All right, come on, let's play.
So it was very daunting when I eventually got, you know, some of the videos started coming through, and then David's done an amazing job with the music, and I'm getting some of that stuff. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm starting to hear it. I'm starting to maybe kind of see it, but then I had to come to the software and be like, okay, like, how am I actually going to do this now? So I've had to use like 2-3 different softwares. So the grid that you see with all the people on there, that was done in one thing. Had to turn that into a video and then bring it.
No. Adrian, you missed it. This is the making of convention. You can't just say it was done in the software.
Unless you lot have got 4 hours.
No. But you can't just say it was done in the software. You have to say,
all right.
And I hope this was done on Mac. I don't want to hear no Windows business to that.
Listen, I don't do Mac. I'm Windows through and through.
All right. So we're gonna move on. Jermaine, are you ready? Windows, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, bro. Come on, man.
So the first part of it was done on an Adobe Premiere Pro.
Wow. Yeah. All right. I can get that with Adobe. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, of course. So that was done on there with I think it was about 38 people in that grid, in that initial grid. I then brought that over into a software called Wondershare Filmora that I'm very used to. It's very basic video editing software that I use. Very cheap as well. Done the job for us for the last 6 months. Amazing. So that's then when I started doing the transitions with all the other stuff and all the other videos with the band, with the ad-libs, and other things like that. So the whole process took, from the first day that I did it to the day it was finished, about 2.5 weeks. If I was to count how many hours it was altogether, it was very close to 48 hours.
Wow. And you know what, bro? You know what would have saved you time?
Go on.
If you was on a Mac.
No, it wouldn't have been a Mac.
Bro, that Windows thing, I don't even want to call it the devil, but boy, listen, that is not the way, the truth, and the lie at all. Like, I'm sorry, Jermaine, you agree with me, innit? I lie.
It's the gospel you're speaking.
Bruv, listen, all right, those on YouTube, yeah, and I want everybody, like, we're at a good number on YouTube. I want everybody to be sharing this, but I want you to put in your preference in the comments. Is it Windows or is it Mac? Come on, is it Windows or Mac? I want everybody in the comments, share this, comment, Windows or Mac, because I believe that the Lord has given us Mac for a time and a purpose, and this Windows demon needs to, yeah. Bill Gates, must I say more? My God. All right. Jerome. Walk us through your process, bro, of the lead up to, convention. What was your process? Editing, creating, whatever it may be, arranging song. I know you're gonna say you didn't do anything of that, but if it was to send a text to say, I need your video now, walk us through that process. If that means that I bet you don't even have an iPhone, do you? You have a Samsung,
I have a Google phone, Google Pixel 2.
Oh my God. You know what?
It's the way forward. It's the way forward. It's the way forward.
The devil is a liar. He's a liar. Go on, Jared. Talk us through your process, bro.
The process. So I was obviously involved in Love Flip. So in terms of the song itself, I think me and Carolyn were always trying to do something slightly different. And obviously we were planning for convention at Bethel. Yeah. And so obviously you have the idea and you're kind of thinking things through. And we were like, we want to do something throwback, because the throwback stuff from last year actually works well in terms of like the vibe. Like we did Power Belongs to God.
Yeah. That was hard. I watched a video of that. That was hard.
Yeah. So, and we just thought, okay, let's see what we can do this time. And we were like trying to figure like get a song that we could actually work with. And
You see that Samson spirit? You see that?
Something iconic. So
no. You see that Google Pixel 2 spirit that you have? You see it?
What happened?
You see that Google?
What happened?
You see that? No. You froze. The devil is a liar. I bind that spirit of Teddy Riley in the name of Jesus. Teddy Riley was using a Google phone. Your phone is entangled. Come on, get it out of there. Get it out. Get it out. If your phone is in an entanglement, my God. God wants you to be free with Apple. My God. All right. Continue, bro. Yeah, it's fine. Go on.
So anyway, we came up with Love, and it was like, okay, then let's do a reimagination. And we were trying to find a particular part in that song which everyone kind of relates to, or not relates to, like kind of remembers, and it's the mystery to me. So we kind of just we're playing around with that, and Carolyn, she kind of came up with a vibe. Yeah. And so then she started writing. I was kind of supposed to write with her. We were trying to write just something kind of small. So she did a bit, I did a bit, etc. Sent it to Isaiah, and Isaiah did his thing. I think Carolyn gave him like a brief of what she wanted, etc. Am I still going? Is that okay?
Yeah. No, keep going. Okay, yeah, don't worry, you haven't been cut off again. My God.
So so when it came to actually doing the video, to be honest, I didn't even know it was for convention at first. Yeah, I didn't have any idea because I think that was it was all under wraps with the rest of the team.
Yeah.
I was just doing this video. We had this idea for a video, etc.
Look.
So in my part, in terms of that, I'm doing Carolyn like what we want to see.
My God.
Is it?
You have one more chance, my brother. You have one more chance. After that, my God, we're gonna have to go elsewhere because my Jesus, I love the I know that what man. Brother, come on.
It actually might be my Wi-Fi. So,
oh, bro, allow it. What is your Wi-Fi? I'm Google as well. Get out of there, man. Go on.
I'll tell you this quick. So basically, my part in it was actually obviously getting the information together to send out to the choir members, and then we got that whole thing of the choir members responding. So collecting the videos, assessing the videos. We had a criteria because we wanted it to look a particular way.
Yeah.
And so we had a criteria, landscape, blank background, etc. So what we were finding is that when people were sending the videos back, they weren't actually really looking at what the criteria was. So we then had to send those videos back and say, well, this, that, etc. And that's how we did it over the weeks. And then we passed the stuff on to Adrian and David. So
sick. My God, you know what? You lot in the comments, Jonathan. I just see what you wrote in the comments. You're actually a mess. Android equals August. You're a mess, bro. You're actually a mess. Oh my, we're not talking about August today. We're in the month of July. We're gonna remain right here. My God. Those that know will know. All right, just really quick here. This is to Caroline and Jerome. Do you guys think that you would have done this love flip at convention? Say like the whole COVID thing didn't happen. Do you think like this would have still been a plan to do this at the actual convention?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. It was intended for a convention. We didn't do love flip for the online virtual choir. It was nothing to do that. It was already in prep for convention. So really it was us choosing which song we were going to do for the virtual choir, and so we wanted a vibes. We wanted a vibe song, so we chose that one.
That's it. Was you going to say something, Jerome, bro?
No, I was just going to say, we had to choose the right song. I think obviously singing live and then doing stuff for even our makeshift studios are two completely different things. So you have to take into account the people that you're working with, and then try and figuring out what the best song is to get the best out of them.
Of course. That's dope.
Can I just say as well, I just want to, and this is a confession now, because where I was saying that Adrian Howe was talking about these numbers, and then you saw my reaction. I said, it's all right, I'll jump in. Adrian did say 24, right? And I knew we are going to end up with a whole lot more than 24. But I'm a fan of Adrian. I fully support him. And I was saying to Jerome, like, just gonna send them through. I'm just gonna send them through. And so Adrian Howe, my dear, I'm really,
how you mean? How? Yeah. I thought, go on.
This is a public recorded apology.
My God.
For being an absolute chief, knowing that you said 24, but I sent you like over 50. I doubled it. But do you know what? God is so good, because he gave you the anointing. He gave you the anointing to get it done.
He gave him the anointing, even on Android and even on PC. My God. He really endowed you. My God, in the Holy Ghost.
Hallelujah.
All right, Izzy, I want to throw this. Actually, no, I'm going to throw it to David and Izzy, actually. I want you to walk us through your creating process. Izzy first, actually. Walk me through your creating process, because I know when you're doing these videos to kind of send out to people, you can't just say record, you know what I mean? You have to put some kind of guide down. Was there voice cues in? Like, talk to me, Izzy. What was your process?
Cool. Funny enough, before lockdown, we just did like we're about to embark on a tour.
Yeah.
We did a night at the Rock and we recorded some songs.
That's
so
sick.
a lot of those songs are what featured in convention. So what I did was take the format from there.
Yeah.
And then even though it's like, they were just like, it's normal church, but I just copied that format because I think those will feel natural. And then recorded my keyboards, put like a percussion loop on, took the bass from that night so the drummer could record with the bass player, and I took the BVs so the BVs had something to sing to.
So did you separate for like the sopranos, the altos, how did you do it? Or you just gave them one, you said, rags, I don't business.
Nah, sir. I don't have the time to bounce that. Yeah. So to be honest, for the majority of them, they had a guide and some they didn't. And even then I was kind of blown away because I've just never heard, I would have never heard those singers sing isolated before. So I wouldn't know who sounds good and who doesn't sound so good. But thankfully everyone sounded great. Like I was blown away by a couple singers that I just would have never heard them in that capacity.
Really? Wow.
Put all the songs in a Dropbox. I had a separate Dropbox for musicians and one for singers. And then musicians are DNFing and recording and sending files back, and singers are doing the same. They're sending their videos and I can extract the audio. In the track. Similar.
Ivy, really quick, I know it's not a long process, but for any musician that is listening and they're trying to figure out how do you extract that audio, just give like the quick rundown of how somebody would extract the audio into Logic, Pro Tools, whatever, you know what I mean?
One thing that I sent out was strict instructions for singers to follow. So you need to record your video and ideally listen to the song on a different device. So headphones, Bluetooth headphones. So the video is picking up your voice and not the music. And I take that video and I put it into, I open the videos with QuickTime and then I could just save the audio only, and then the video is just, from the music point of view, the video is obsolete to me. I don't need it. And I just take the video from it.
Got you.
And I put it into Logic and then line it up with the song.
So Isaac, really quick before we go to David, Phil said on the YouTube, he said, who sounds good and who sounds so good?
Okay. I think the two people that sounded the best, or not necessarily the best, but
no, say the best. No, say the best, Isaac. No, don't sugarcoat it, bruv. No, Isaac, don't do that, bruv. Come on, man.
I think the two people that sounded the best was Aaron. Aaron is a tenor, and Grace, she's a soprano.
Grace is from The Rock in Birmingham, right? Grace is a wicked. I'm sure she does like opera and stuff like that. I'm not even too sure, you know. She's bad. She's bad.
The most consistent, and they never wavered.
That's sick. Yo, what about Jermaine now? All right, David, from the other side of that coin, so receiving the files, what was your process? What was your all right, let me play this because Isaac's played this, or, you know, because you were playing more organ stuff, right?
Yeah. Gosh, how did I go about it now?
Jesus. Brother David, you should have been prepared already. We've been talking about this for the last 5 minutes. Come on. Girdle up your loins. Come on.
My thing is mainly to just pad underneath as a Hammond player, provide a bed for everything else to kind of sit on top of. So that's kind of where I focus in terms of Hammond. And then I also laid down a few extra synth parts here and there.
Sick.
And then for the mix, I focused on the band first. So loaded in all the stems from that, and I kind of mixed those with the guide vocals first. Long process, editing all the stems and bussing, gain staging, all that kind of stuff. I used an application called Compressor to extract the audio from all of the
got you
because you can do it in batch. So it's
Oh,
like
really?
50 something videos. So you literally
I didn't even know that. See, yeah, wicked, nice. Anytime I get, did you know Ivy? Yeah, see, David, you're holding out on man, bruv. Come on, man. Allow it, man. Allow it.
This is only on Mac as well, so
yeah. See, look, there you go. Look, there you go.
Drag your videos in, select your format, press go, and then.
My God, have mercy. You couldn't do that on a PC. Go on, continue, my young brother.
So yeah, it was interesting because before this, I had only ever mixed one thing properly before.
Really?
That was a track that I released.
Wow.
So it was kind of daunting for me.
Yeah.
So YouTube was my friend. I learned a lot of stuff from there. My brother and a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Got a lot of tips from them. Yeah, gosh. So like I went to the loudest part of the song.
Yeah.
Took all the faders down and then kind of brought everything up one by one. Like what's the most important thing you want to hear? And then, just went about like that. Then automation, EQing, reverbs, compressors.
Yeah.
Yeah. And boy, the probably the longest part of it was deciding on which ad-libs to put. There were like there was between 8 and 12 different tracks of ad-libs. So yeah. So it was listening through the track and listening to all those ad-libs.
Yeah, that's the long
splitting them up and then figuring out which should go where. So myself, Caroline, Jerome, like we collaborated quite well on that.
And see, so then that would have been a process to say to Adrian, yo, Adrian, you see the the PC software you're using there, you're gonna have to go back into it and then like make sure this person that's mad. That's mad. But no, that's a wicked process, man. That's a wicked. Was you gonna say something else, bro? Sorry.
Yeah. So one thing I did to try and help Adrian, I don't know how much this helps. I took a screenshot of my Logic project. Where the ad-libs were.
Adrian's clapping for you right now. He's clapping. He's saying, yeah, nice one.
Named all the tracks so that he knew who was singing.
Yeah, of course. Matt could have probably just said this person is, but yeah, Siri. You know what I mean? Siri. Yeah, Siri. But yeah, no. I hear you. I'm gonna jump to Jonathan. What was your process? I told you I want everybody to answer this, and we're gonna move on.
So my process was just trying to have a quiet house enough to be able to record something for a sustained period of time without interruption. Or do you know what I mean? Because I think that's one thing. Like, there aren't many periods in my house where it's that quiet. And if it is that quiet, that's because the baby's asleep. So if you want to go and start recording now, what you're going to do is wake up the baby.
My God, you can preach all on that tonight. You can preach.
I tell you on tonight. So it was just trying to find a moment in the day where it's going to be okay to kind of just go in, and then to also give the same enthusiasm that you would if you were at national convention or if you were out anywhere leading worship publicly, that you would, do you know what I mean, in a video when you're in your bedroom or you're in your house or whatever. So yeah, in terms of challenges, it was finding that kind of period where it was actually quiet enough. And then secondly, like my house faces north, so like light is not great in my house. So it's trying to find like, okay, now I need to set up, I need to get lamp. I don't have no ring light like you YouTubers and you people out there that are all finessed and all that.
I don't believe in those ring light.
Okay, because I ain't no vlogger, I ain't no blog. So it's me trying to get lamps from and like in my house, because I know my house faces north, I specifically have light bulbs that are white light because daylight. So I have that on even sometimes during the day so that the room doesn't feel like you've always got lights on. It just feels like a kind of neutral. Anyway, the point is I had to introduce the daylight somehow because I just know that my house is so dark that like you can see now, my house is so dark And that again is a challenge, like just trying to make sure that you, and then when you have the really strict specific instructions from MD Isaiah Yard, and you're trying to remember all those instructions as well as making sure that the lighting is right, and you've got the device, and then you're thinking, okay, I literally need to set up a whole thing here because my laptop's about to die. I need a device to record from. I don't know all the lyrics to the song, so I need a device that has the lyrics to the song, but I can't scroll through the lyrics of the song because I'm holding, do you know what I mean? Like, it's all of those. It's not as mad as, 55 videos, but I'm just saying that I think it can be perceived that it's a quite easy process to just stand there with your headphones and go, yeah, let's go, praise the Lord. And particularly when you're trying to lead a song as well, like that's even more difficult because a lot of my worship leading, and I suppose a lot of people who worship lead, you can pick up from what's happening in the room. You pick up from what your team are doing behind you. You pick up from what the band are doing. You pick up from what the congregation do. And you don't have those elements there. And it's not to say your worship is any different, but it's the case that you're trying to replicate that same passion.
You're trying to tap, my God.
Right. You understand? And so that's where it can be challenging. But I think I messaged Jermaine. I was just like, bro, this is like, I'm sweating in my house. Like, what is this? Like, and I think he was just like, yeah, you just have to kind of like, just go for it. Yeah, it's go hard or go home. Like, there's no point in trying to, if you're going to do lots of bum notes and stuff, especially when you're leading, it's not so bad, it's not so bad when you're leading. It's very bad when you're trying to do the BB parts. But if you're leading the thing and you're showing passion and you're showing, it doesn't always come out pretty. It doesn't always come out perfectly. Yeah, of course. And actually, sometimes in those imperfections, you get the reality of what it would sound like. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think for me, it was just trying to find a quiet space, trying to get the lighting right, trying to make sure I don't flop, because I know if I send something to Isaiah that's not right, it's just going to be dodgy.
And you don't mince his words already.
Right, you understand? So yeah, that's kind of my process, so to speak.
And you know why that was so dope to hear, bro? Honestly, because sometimes people feel like, yeah, it's easy. I can put my camera up and I can record. It's easy. Just what? Landscape. Yeah, go on then. Yeah, go on then. Simple. And they don't understand the process. I'll tell you a quick story. Hopefully this lady's not watching, but we have a choir in Nottingham. And literally, yeah, don't worry, I'm just gonna say it. So basically, we put out a video the other day and I seen her with the headphones on. So I'm trying to line up the video and I'm wondering, why is it not lined up? So she said, so I called her, I said, yo, like the video's not lined up. She said, oh yes, it's because, I just had the headphones on for fashion. I couldn't, the Bluetooth lost connection when I went outside. So I just kept the headphones on for fashion. I said, God, Jesus have mercy. I said, you're going to have to do it again.
You're going to have to do it again.
Yeah, you're going to have to do it again. So it's not, you know what I mean? It's not an easy process. It's not just...
And even finding somewhere in your house to do it, like actually locating somewhere in your house. Like, I just had to do it in front of my wardrobes, and after thinking about various locations, I was like, you know what? You're gonna see my wardrobes, and that is what it is. You know what I mean? And I think all of those little things that people, like you said, people just think is easy. Oh, I'll just keep my headphones on for fashion. It don't work like that. So
you gotta do it right. My God, if you do it right, you can dance all night.
That's right.
Sister Carolyn.
Yeah, I was just going to say, one of the things...
Carolyn, talk to us.
One of the things we had to do, right, because obviously we had loads and loads of videos coming through, and we had to sometimes go back to certain individuals where it was dropping off. And there was a little trick that we had to pull out the bag for some people, where we actually took their vocal and then asked them just to send through another one where they're still singing along, but they're able to move more, because there were certain people who struggled to be able to be visually presentable and vocally presentable at the same time. So we had to actually take some people's vocals separate to the visual presentation and literally just mute them. So we had, didn't we, Adrian? We had this folder called Mute Them, or Mute, was it called Mute Them? It was something like that. Just exposing them.
I would ask for some names, but I'm not going to get into trouble tonight. I would ask for some names, but I'm not going to leave it alone.
No, I would never.
I'm going to leave it alone. But Carolyn, your process, really quick, because I want to move on. Just give me your process, really quick.
Okay, so the process for Frontline for writing the song and stuff, is that what you mean?
Yes, writing the song.
Okay, so
how you got into it, like what was
all right, so the background to this was, as Jerome said, you wanted the vibes, and funny enough, the inspiration was Kanye West, because I absolutely loved what he did with Fred's track. Obviously, I love Fred Hammond as well. And I was like, no, we've got to do something like this. I want us to get a song that's old school, but let's put a vibe on it, you know? And no word of a lie, originally, I was trying to push for us just doing the exact same thing that Kanye did. We were going to run that. And it was Jermaine who said to me, yeah, Jay was like, just do your own, it's done. And that was a bit of a challenge for me. But I thought, okay, let's try and give this a go. And Jerome has been an amazing support to me when it comes to songwriting, really helping to teach me the process. And that is a whole Zoom. There's a whole education.
People don't know that Jermaine is that guy for writing, you know. People don't know that. And it's only because
Jerome.
I said Jerome.
Oh, I thought you said Jermaine.
No, I said Jerome. No, Caroline, you're coming for me tonight. I don't appreciate this.
I'm apologizing. Sorry.
No. Jermaine, you're gonna say something. Oh, all right, cool. No worries. Yeah,
sorry,
you're coming for me. Continue with your story, but it's fine. Don't worry. I'm gonna meet you in a minute. Somebody make me the host of this week. Come on.
I really sincerely apologize. I didn't hear.
No. It's not good enough right now. We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it off the call. Don't worry.
Okay. I'm sorry. So he kind of, because there's been this long period of time where he's been teaching me about songwriting, I kind of felt that he was doing this whole, go on, Carolyn, you can do it. Like, you know, try and just do more of it yourself.
Yeah.
And so we thought about love, and then just singing through, as Jerome said, it was that section where it's a mystery to me. Now I'm glad to see Jesus. And we thought, yeah. And I don't know, it just kind of hits you sometimes in a moment. And to be fair, when I sent what I sent to Isaiah, described the kind of vibe that I wanted. This is the great thing about working with really good creative people, is that what Isaiah came back with wasn't even what I imagined. He just took it to another place. And then that gave further inspiration for harmonies, because what I sent to Isaiah was just the melody, some scratchy melody. But because I heard what he came with, it inspired me for when we went in studio to just record some, harmonies with it. And then it's organic.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, it just kind of comes together. But can I just say big props to David and to Adrian Howe, because this was the very first time that that David had mixed. He's never mixed before. And the first time that Adrian had done this whole mad level virtual quieting. And look what they came with.
You know what? I have to address this because YouTube is going crazy right now. Apparently, I said Jermaine. Ivy's on there saying I said Jermaine. Everybody's on there saying I said Jermaine. So let me publicly apologize before we go.
Okay, I love you, Adrian.
No. Wait, let me finish. I want to apologize to the church, because apologizing, it doesn't make me a weak person. It makes me a strong person.
That's right. Amen.
It makes me a strong. I humbly apologize. YouTube, I apologize. Okay? I apologize. Please forgive me. Can we press forward, church?
Amen.
Wonderful. Amen. But yeah, no, you know what? Shout out to David and Adrian again. It was amazing work that's been done. Guys, who haven't I asked? Did I ask Jermaine? I asked Jermaine, didn't I?
I think
I did. Who haven't I asked about their process? I've asked everybody, right? All right. So we're going to move on. We got half an hour. We're going to do this. Your biggest challenge, Jerome.
Biggest challenge in terms of this process?
In terms of this process, your biggest challenge. Oh my gosh. No. No. Jerome, no.
Hello?
Jerome, no.
That was his biggest challenge.
I believe so, Jermaine. I believe his internet is his biggest challenge, and his phone. That is your biggest challenge of this whole thing. Jerome, man.
Is it okay now?
Jerome, I'm pleading with you. Tomorrow morning, go to the shop and just get a little iPhone. £24, you can get a little contract. Come on, Jerome. Just cancel it. Pay out the rest of the contract. Pay out the rest of the Google Pixel contract and just say, I need an iPhone. Pay it out. All right, go on. Continue then.
Okay, I'm hoping this holds out. Okay, so biggest challenge was actually going through the videos, for me anyway, personally. And also having to go, I think it's collating the information and in terms of what we wanted improvement on, and not, because we're working with young people, it's like not discouraging them, because some of them we could sense were getting a bit discouraged. Some people have to do it like 2-3 times.
Wow.
And that was a challenge. And then also we kind of foresaw the fact that we wouldn't get enough videos from the choir itself. So we started thinking, okay, we need to get our friends involved, and because at convention we were going to be singing with the former mass choir from back in the 80s, 90s. So we started pulling on some of those people as well. So that was the biggest challenge. That really, really was for me. So yeah.
All right, cool. I know you just kind of gave it, Jonathan, but what was your biggest challenge? I know you said about, the lighting and everything in the house, but what would you say your biggest challenge overall for this project was?
Yeah, I think really just like sticking to deadlines, because you're trying to manage your time and your time is not really your own kind of thing. So like I remember Jermaine asked me for the tracks on a particular day. I think I said one. I was like, bruv, I don't have the capacity to do another one by the time you're asking me for. I just need you to exercise some grace here. I'm really sorry. And you're going to have to get it at a different time. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's just, being able to stick to the deadlines, stick to the times. That was the real challenge for me personally. But yeah, it all came together in the end.
Wicked. Sir David Davis, your biggest challenge, sir?
Yeah, I think I'll mention it already. It was choosing those ad-libs. That took a long time, man. There were some which we really wanted to put in, but it's like we couldn't have everything in there at the same time. There was some gold in there.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't use a little Melodyne and just do a little tuning.
No, things didn't need Melodyne. Like it was that good already, but it's just
all right. Fair enough. It
was balancing it between saturating it with ad-libs.
Got you.
What to put where and blah blah blah.
Fair enough.
And I think it wasn't that big a challenge, but sorting out the timing. Some of the timing was bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was a case of moving a whole section, so say moving the sopranos for a particular line.
Really?
And that was a long time. That was a lot. That was really.
All right. Sir Jermaine, your biggest challenge, sir. I know you have a lot, so you just give me a short version, sir. I know you have a lot of them.
Yeah, no. I'll keep it to singing. So I think probably one of the biggest challenges in terms of singing was definitely doing it right in a take. So probably similar to what Monkey's already mentioned, but and this I can definitely speak on behalf of all of Salient Sound and any of the singers, is trying to sing a whole song from top to bottom faultlessly is something that we've never done, because even if you think about it in church, we make mistakes vocally.
Yeah, of course.
It happens, but you can't really do that as a recording. So, and that's I think one of the main things about the pre-recorded convention is that you have the ability to correct the mistake. But in order to do that as a song, that means you have to do it from the beginning to the end. So because I didn't really want to give the team the option of, okay, if you messed up in this section, just sing that section and send that to me again, because that means I'm
no. That means you have to do more editing.
Exactly, it's more work, and I feel sorry for Adrian. I don't know what Karen was thinking. I apologize on behalf of all the haters, because that's rude. But
Caroline, anyway, Jermaine, Caroline, come on, we have to pronounce
Caroline.
Yeah, the lid, come on.
So, but just singing the whole thing from top to bottom. But having said that, one thing I can say for sure is, like, as I was already mentioned, like the singers really came through, and what you hear on in terms of the final version, it sounds almost like it could be a recording. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
I can definitely say they know the song
from
top to bottom now. If they didn't before,
they
definitely know it now. You know what I mean? Without fail. So I'm glad. And if anything, I'm tempted to make this an actual thing where it's like, I mean, boy, it's out there now. So if Salient Sound's watching, which I think they are, be prepared to do this again, because it's like for any songs that we'll be doing moving forward, part of the learning process is send me the whole song from top to bottom, all your parts. Because you know it. Hello. Ain't no blagging in that. There was no blagging in the recording. There's no time. There's no space.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, man. That was the challenge, doing it perfect. And trust me, I didn't get it right first time. I asked Carolyn, like, when I was in Northampton with her and the family, is like, I'm like, Kat, I don't even know how to sing anymore. Like, like I've lost that ability. Like, I couldn't do it. And leading a song is different to singing the background vocal for the song as well. There's like the energy that I'm trying to exert to a camera. I think sometimes you've probably seen the video. I might actually be looking in the window because there's some crazy stuff going on in the street. I'm like, I'm getting distracted. I'm trying to stay focused there and lead people in worship while some guy's riding a bike into a car. And I'm like, you know, Lord, we became you now, whatever. So it was fun. It was fun, but it was definitely challenging just learning the whole format.
Yeah. All right. Sir Izzy, your biggest challenge, sir?
I think just one thing in general life that I wanted to get under my belt this year was mixing. I don't really want to be a mix engineer, but if I can mix for myself, I could be happy. So mixing these songs is like revision upon revision upon revision. I think with music and mixing, it's like you get, to anyone that doesn't know, you get to a good place where you've got a good mix, and then after that it becomes subjective. Like I could say my keyboards are too loud and too quiet, so that I did revision upon revision upon revision upon revision. But yeah, that was probably the hardest thing, to get to a place where I was just happy with the mix.
But the mix sounded nice, bruv. The mix sounded nice, man. Well done, bruv. Caroline, your biggest challenge?
In addition to what everyone else is saying, because I agree with absolutely what everyone else is saying, for me personally, I was wearing many hats for this convention. So doing Frontline was just one small strand in a whole long tapestry of stuff. So it was kind of being able to maintain the balance of the timelines and everything else and not drop a ball with regards to the stuff expected to be delivered for Frontline. That was a huge challenge for me. And I won't need to go into specifics. I know like we've got a Zoom that will come later on where we'll go into the like background of you know. But yeah, it was hard. And do you know what? The great thing that was wonderful in this whole process is working with people who are just focused on the end goal. There's no time for things like competition or trying to prove oneself. There was no time for any of that. It was just, we're all trying to achieve excellence, and that's what made it beautiful. Despite all of the stresses and the difficulties, we were going for the best. So yeah, it was challenging, but what was making it easier was knowing that we're all putting our best foot forward, you know.
That's dope. Sir Adrian, my namesake, your biggest challenge, what was it?
The whole thing.
Wow.
No, honestly, it was like I said, it was something I've never done before. So the whole thing was, but to break it down into little bits, there was the challenge of, and I don't want to admit it, but my laptop slowing down.
Yeah.
I don't hear it. It's all right. It's fine. Windows, amen. And then
after that,
then there was also as well for myself at the time when doing it. I was actually staying at my brother's house because there was work being done to the house that I'm in now, which is my parents. And so being in an environment that's not my own, as much as it was fine and all the rest of it, and still having to deal with my own kids as well as my niece and nephews as well, and all of that, and having kids around me. So what Mongi was saying about finding a quiet space, I don't know what a quiet space is. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So doing that was tough. And then what David said about putting people in the right places in terms of the timing and stuff like that with them videos, bro. Oh my word. 24, trying to line up 24 people and more was
did you get them to clap at the beginning or to get like a start mark?
I'm just trying to hear the first note and I'm like, oh, okay, that's where that is. Okay, cool, let's go. Like, nah, it was difficult. And then obviously some people don't sing at the exact right timing as well. There were some people that I'll say it straight. There were some people that could not be used because their timing was just completely off. And a few that I kind of had to. Luckily, I'm coming from a design background, so I know how people's eyesights work. So certain people actually put in a certain place in the video.
Yeah.
So you kind of miss them because their timing was off at that point of the video.
Jeez. Come on, Abe.
You got that complex, to be honest. You got that complex. So yeah, so the whole thing was difficult, man. And to think that was only a 2-minute thing. Yeah. What other people do with longer things and doing more than one and all that kind of stuff, like, take my hat off to them because, you know, I'd probably still be doing it now, trying to sort out all the other stuff. So yeah.
All right, sick. Just before I get onto this one thing, just so people understand, even though that video was only 2 minutes, how many hours roughly did you think that you put in to that 2-minute video? Because some people won't understand. They think, oh, it's just a 2-minute video.
Yeah. So there was one thing when I first put out the clip of the video, I had a few people actually ask me, what app did you use?
Wow.
Just to put it into context, so the 2-minute video, as I did mention this earlier as well, if I was to put together the amount of hours that I put into it as one thing, it was literally like very close to 2 days. Straight,
cool.
48
2 minutes, 2 days.
Like 2 minutes.
2 days. All right, cool, safe. All right, we're gonna move because of time. I know time is winding up. We're gonna start right back with you, Adrian. What was your best moment?
When it went out and I saw the reaction of everyone, that for me made the whole 4, 5, 6 weeks from the time Carolyn asked me to that second there, made the whole thing worth it. Even kind of before that was actually finishing it, and Jerome and Carolyn saying, yes, we're done. Yeah. The Lord came into the room on at that time. Trust me, because why? The relief was real, very, very real. So it was that, and then the reaction was kind of like the confirmation of everything, basically.
Of course. All right. Brother Jerome, please don't freeze. What was your best moment? Please just do it quick, bruv. So if it freezes, then you're not like.
Okay. Can you hear me still?
Yes.
Cool. Okay then. So best moment was when we got the first mixing draft back from David.
Yeah.
It was just brilliant to hear. And the one thing that I did like about it was the fact that it sounded like a choir, which is what I like.
Yeah.
It did. Yeah. It was just brilliant. So that was it. I'll stop there.
Excellent, because I was so worried that you're gonna freeze. David, real quick, your best moment, bro.
Gosh, just hearing the whole thing together.
Yeah.
I think finished products, hearing the reaction from Caroline and Jerome and Adrian, and seeing the reaction on the day.
Yeah. Jermaine, best moment, bro.
Yeah, no, I agree with what Adrian said. I think Friday was the greatest relief of just seeing all of the hard work, sweat and tears and all of that. Just seeing the delivery of that and the reaction, I think was probably we never predicted or foresaw how people are going to react, and that was what made it all worth it.
Yeah. All right. Sir Mongi, your best moment.
Again, kind of have to echo everything everyone has always said. Just sitting back, watching the TV screen with our church doing something that is revolutionary, that has never been done before. All of those elements, the fact that convention was cancelled because of COVID.
Yeah.
The team didn't give up and say, wow, let's wait till 2021. Like, people work themselves to the bone to put something together. People developing new skills, people developing new, do you know what I mean? Things just to get this thing done. like the pride was so real, like as unbelievable. Like just to sit back on my sofa and watch, and it was just seamless and something that you can just be like this got done, like that feeling of joy, that feeling of absolute elation that, you know, some people thought it might have dropped off. People weren't sure, new T in the online convention, all that talk. But, you know, there comes to a time when, you know, God just silences all of that and just says, yeah, well, look, you know. And so, yeah, just so grateful that I even know the people that put this stuff together. It's incredible.
Yeah, 100%. Carolyn, your best moment, love.
Adrian. Yeah, the similar. I had two. It was when we first heard all of the live music coming together, because obviously we had like a demo version initially, but when we're hearing all of the live, when that mix first came through, that was like, oh wow, this actually sounds legit, this sounds great. And then seeing everyone's reaction, it was, to be honest, it was emotional. It was, I had tears because it was just such a victorious moment, because, you know, when you put so much work, sweat, sickness, illness, you know, when it's all come to this point where people are seeing it and just like, wow. I think the first comment I saw, I think it was Jay Dean. Jay Dean said, okay, Frontline. I think that was like the first comment that came up, and then everyone was like, boom, 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 fire, fire. And I was like, we did it. So yeah, proud.
Sick. Ivy, your best moment.
Can I be cheeky and share too? I feel like, you see, that convention is such a great atmosphere and everything that goes on is just a great place to be. But I feel like that is only received, and if you know, by our church, and everyone else that doesn't go to our church doesn't get to see it, and words will never explain what that's like. So having this online, it was kind of like that. I feel that was great. Like hearing the band record, I couldn't believe it sounded that good. Like it was kind of disbelief. And then number two, I think I just wrapped up a studio session on the Friday, and me and Jermaine watched Convention together. It's like, I felt like a kid. Like I felt like I'm walking into Bethel the first time, sitting in my seat. Like I think it's proper dope stuff, and just repeating that we did this ourselves. We didn't need to outsource anyone from a different church or like a professional secular background, which is dope.
Like there's so, honestly, there's so much talent within our church, New Testament Church of God. And even now, I believe that the people that still have giftings that are probably unbeknown to us, that they're kind of like, nah, I can't tell them that I do that, or I can't tell them that I work for this place, or that, like, I believe it's still within our church, you know what I mean? And it's for us to make sure that we try our best to get people to get on board with what we're doing, man. It's definitely about that. We're gonna get out of here shortly, but there was a great comment that Nathan Turner left on the YouTube, and I seen you answer it a little bit, Izzy. I'm trying to look for it now. It's gone. He said, in the future, could we get to a place where worship songs, choir songs in convention are written and produced by NTCG peeps?
Yeah, I think me and you spoke about this before, Adrian, but it's like, I think there's a misconception in the UK, especially with Black artists. People like, why do we sing American songs, or why do we sing Hillsong songs, or like, we don't sing American songs because they're American. Like we sing their songs because they sound great.
Definitely.
The mix is great, the master's great, everything. So I think if you build something that's great, like write great songs, don't settle for mediocrity, and then I think if we get to a place like that, and then our songs are still not being sung, then we can have a different conversation then. But like if we set out to achieve greatness and through trusting in God and seeking in Him, I think, I don't think it's an unrealistic expectation. I think we could definitely do it.
Yeah, no. Anybody else want to jump on that before I answer it again? Any?
Yeah. I mean, essentially that, obviously, me and Isaiah kind of talk about this stuff all the time, but that the main thing is Of course we can. Like, to answer the question, of course we can. There's fantastic writers in the church. There's I mean, we've started writing, we've done our original material. I think if we're talking Salient Sound, the first national youth project that ever came out was that EP, and that wasn't even something we planned, you know what I mean? And so in terms of the content that we're able to produce, can it all be original? Can it all be excellent and coming all directly from us? The answer is absolutely yes. In terms of the infrastructure to set that up and to plan that, that is definitely something that's going to happen. It starts with us. We make that happen. So within the next year, will we have projects coming out? Absolutely. You know, I think like what's already started, it can't stop now. It can't stop. Like we will be having projects, we'll be having albums. I'm expecting Frontline to have an album at some point. I'm expecting Salient Sound definitely will be having a couple projects as long as we're still alive. You know what I mean? That is happening. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the day, because I know Isaiah, he loves choir music more than praise and worship, believe it or not. So it's like, yeah, I'm expecting some choir stuff. Adrian, your church, man. Like I'm expecting there to be a whole host of projects coming out on the national level within the next few years, 100%, and it's going to happen.
Yeah, no, a million percent. I feel, and what Izzy said in the comment to answer, it's so true. Like, we just can't do the mediocre thing. We can't do it. And the thing is that I'll be straight with you guys. Look at Jerome. Oh my God. Jerome, you came off screen. Oh my God. I'll be honest with you, yeah. Like, some people's feelings are gonna be hurt, and it's not done in intentional. But I heard something the other day of somebody saying, you know, if you're called to be an usher, don't be trying to be on the praise and worship team. Don't be trying to, you know, be on the band. Don't be trying to be in a place like where that's not your lane, you know what I mean? And I feel like if we're going forward as a church, we have to be honest. There's some honest conversations that need to take place if we're saying, yo, we want the best. Like the convention, this not the Frontline convention, the convention, the National Youth Convention that took place, it set a bar so high, and to every single person that is involved, even if you're not on this live tonight, like, I take my hat off to you. Like, I couldn't be prouder. Like, I'm beaming with pride to say, yeah, I'm a part of the New Testament Church of God right now. And any young person, any older person should be excited to be like, you know what, I'm a part of this New Testament Church of God. I don't want to call it a thing. Oh my God, he's gone. But to be a part of the New Testament Church of God right now, like, it's a big deal. And to be fair, yeah, guys, as I said, some honest conversations are going to be had, but we need to move it forward together. We need to be united. We need to be in one accord. We need to have the same mindset. So in close, I'm going to throw this out here. Advice, guys, give me some advice that, you know, that you will give to somebody that's saying, you know what, I want to be involved, or how can, you know, the church support singers or songwriters or musicians, creatives, whatever you want to call it. I know we are trying to look at the whole creative process for our whole church, you know what I mean? But what advice would you give to somebody that is at the, I don't want to call it the food chain, but somebody that's saying, you know what, I actually want to get involved. Like, I have a bit of a gifting. I think I have a bit of a gifting. I think I can sing, think I can play. I think I can do design, because sometimes we don't even think about design and all them kind of things there. But as this convention proved, we rightly need it. And it's definitely things that we need within our churches. So I'm going to throw it out there. Whoever wants to answer it, who can answer it?
I want to jump in. I'll jump in on this one. As you heard, with all of us, we were doing things, first of all, in our local churches. Sometimes there's this passion with some people to go straight to some big platform, straight to national and whatever, but you need to stir up your gift. One of the things that was just so key about this convention that made the impact was the standard, the level of quality. That does not just happen. You need to be excellent if you're on a big platform, straight up. And so there are some people who shouldn't be on the big platform yet because you haven't yet been faithful over a few things. So yeah, I would say, look at whatever gifting God has given you and put it out there in your church. Do the best that you can, and not to be seen, not even for the claps or anything, but even just to do it as unto the Lord. And he is faithful to help you to stir that up. So that's what I would say to people personally. And then for leaders, I would say invest in those who you can see have a particular area of gifting. The things that we did, we were using different tools. There was a lot of money that was actually put into this. And it was sometimes our own money. Do you know what I mean? It's our own money. It doesn't just happen through the cheap. We've got to have a mindset of high standard and quality. Don't cut corners. Don't cut corners. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, cool. Anybody else want to jump in?
Jump in on what Carolyn said about the way you kind of start out. So for myself, you know, I haven't been in Newty all my life. I've been in Newty probably for about 8 years, I think, something like that. And with the previous church organization I was with, I was doing stuff with my local church and had aspirations to do different things on a national level. And that wasn't just the graphics things, it was other stuff in ministry and stuff like that. And it just didn't happen for different reasons. I ended up going to the Rock, and then being given opportunities that I was given by, I think it was first Nathan, Pastor Nathan, that gave me a level of opportunity first. And I kind of just built and we are where we are. And I had no real aspirations of then trying to get to any national level, because I already kind of tried it and it wasn't happening. So I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to do my thing, do what I can to help the Rock, boom, boom, boom. That's about it. And then what would then happen, because I put so much effort into doing that, I was then noticed by different people. And then shout out Janine Buckner, massive shout out to Janine Buckner, who kind of got me the first, you know, seat at the national table, I guess. And then where, you know, I'm where I'm at now. So it goes to show that what Carolyn said is absolutely correct. Do what you're doing where you're at. If you're not, find a way. I don't know what the answer is to everyone's situation, but find a way and do it in a way where you're not trying to be noticed, but you're just doing it to the best of your ability and for the people that you're doing it for. You know what I mean? Then eventually you will be noticed. You will then be asked to do different things, and different opportunities will arise. So, you know, for me, whatever ministry that is, whatever church you're going to, even if it's not your local church, find another way of doing what you do. Don't hold back because no one's coming to you.
Yeah. And the thing is, just to touch on that as well, it's funny because I was having a conversation with Andre, Jordine, and Mike Bolt the other day, and I was saying, wouldn't it be a shame, if we have all these great conventions and everybody's watched convention and they get out of lockdown, and then, you know, we get back to church and our church is dega and we just got two man beating a tambourine and they're saying, but I swear that man was online going, we love you, and then it's like, praise the Lord. No. We need to invest into our old church. It starts at home. Like, it doesn't even go. Isaac, you look like you want to say something. Go on, Isaac, because you're itching. Go on, I can see you. Go on.
Nah, bro, I'm just agreeing with you.
All right, cool. Fair enough. All right, but you get what I'm saying, though. Like, it's one of those things where we need, like, home matters. Home matters. You can't go and dance anywhere else if you can't. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I know we've got to wrap up, but come on, somebody just give some more info. Come on, give some more wisdom. My God, tag.
Yeah, I just can't possibly echo the sentiments that everyone has already said, like, strongly enough. It has to start where you are at. I think there was another question posed in the group about the glamour and the thing of being a part of. Listen, you've just heard that to set this up, like, let me just take Adrian Howe, for example, was in an unfamiliar place, kids all around, like that. There is nothing glamorous about that process. I'm in my house in front of our wardrobes, trading laptop cables and all that to try and hold it for, don't know the lyrics to this thing is not, it's not a glamorous thing. Do you know what I mean? And so whilst you might see something that looks really polished and excellent, because glamour is not excellence. Do you know what I mean? They're not the same things. When you have something that is excellent, it's because there has been an effort put into it and there is a standard that you are going for. And when you hit that standard, then it means that you can walk in it because you're hitting a standard, not because you want it to look a particular way, but because it is the standard of the way that you of the effort that you've put in. And so all of that stuff about if people are still focused on what the worship team are wearing and how Frontline are doing their thing, if you're still there, you have missed this whole thing entirely. Definitely. And like, you must get back, you must go back to God and say, do you know what is it that I have in my hand that I can use in my local church to make sure that I am building the kingdom? This is not about building new tea, it's about building the kingdom of God. Because God ain't coming back for new tea, he's coming back for his kingdom, period. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and he's come back for you individually as a person. So therefore, what you talking about new tea and all that kind of stuff is immaterial in one respect, because he's coming back for you. Do you know what I mean? And he wants to know what you have done. It is you he's coming for. So I would say, just to echo the sentiments of like what Adrian was saying, what Carolyn has said, what Isaiah, what everyone has said, you've got to serve, not even because you want it to go somewhere. You serve because you're a Christian. You serve because you love Jesus. You serve because you just love the Lord and you love to serve. And if you then end up in a position where you're serving more people, and fantastic. If not, you might just need to serve right where you are, and you might, do you know what I mean? So whilst we are absolutely striving for excellence, whilst we are absolutely doing everything that we can to make sure the standard is lifted, do not forget about your service. Fundamentally, God is looking at your service, what you are doing as a human, what you're doing with what he has given to you. So that's what I would say. Like, and one more thing, the investment side, like, okay, we have the beautiful, beautiful Young Levites face mask. Oh, yo. I got mine. You can go online and you can buy one right now for £10. If you go and purchase that money that you put into that as a gift, and you get a face mask back for the gift that you've given of your £10, is going to help so that people don't have to use their own money to buy their software. They don't have to use their own money to travel up and down the country to get into writing rooms and stuff. We can actually begin to fund this thing, because nothing happens without money. It don't happen. Do you know what I mean? So all the Wi-Fi, even Jerome's brought down Wi-Fi, he's got to pay for that every single month, because they're coming for him every single month. If you don't pay the bill, there's no Wi-Fi. You understand what I'm saying?
Isaiah, where is the organ? Where's the organ, man?
Get online, give 100, buy a face mask. They're fantastic. I've been using them for about a week. They're nice and thin. You can breathe through them. My glasses don't steam up. Buy a face mask, because then you are investing in your church. Don't go and buy a Louis Vuitton one. Or if you're going to buy a Louis Vuitton one, buy one of these first before you go buy a Louis Vuitton one. Because it's really important that you want to know how you can help. Some people can't sing, can't play, can't act, can't do any of it. What you can do is take the £10 and you will do a lot more than even sometimes people who are trying to send a track. Hello. Okay, so please, that's my plea. Let me mute myself before I get any more trouble.
And now may the saving grace of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, the love of God, I think we're going to end it right. Any closing notes, saints, because I feel like the word was just preached. And I just feel like if there's an altar call, if somebody needs to give their life to Jesus tonight, come on, repeat after me. Lord, Lord, into my heart, come. That's the only prayer you need to pray tonight. Don't get into the deepness. Lord, into my heart, come. That's it. That's all we're gonna say, guys. It's been absolutely wonderful. I know we're 3 minutes over. Please, team, don't kill me. But yes, these are the conversations that we need to have. We need to have them with our church. We need to let people know. I know if you wasn't watching, I'm not even too sure if this is staying up on the Young Levites thing, but rewatch it. It's going to stay up. Excellent. Rewatch it, share it. Let everybody know. Go to the Give 100, get your face mask. Bro, I'm going to get one because I had one, but the glasses was steaming up, bro. You know how glasses people they are, bro. They steam up.
Trust me, it's so nice and thin. It's it just caress your face. Wow. It's got 2 sizes. For the children, they can wear it on the first hoop. For the adults, they can wear it on the second hoop. Listen, it's just a beautiful thin piece of material that will just cover your face. Okay, it's got the Young Levites logo. It says "I must breathe" hashtag. Go and get one. It's $9.99. And when you get it, look at this tin piece of thing. It's thin for a reason, Kai. It needs to help you to breathe, and it will help you. Trust me. And you're also sewing into your church, so please, I beg you, go get it.
If you don't want to give offering, go and get a face mask.
Hello.
If you don't want to pay your tithes, go and get a face mask.
Hello.
Come on. We don't want to talk. We don't want to talk tonight on why the young people don't pay their tithes. We're not going to get into that because that's another topic. What a topic! My God. All right, guys, we're gonna get out of there because this has been awesome. David, Jermaine, Carolyn, Izzy, Mongi, Adrian, Jerome. Thank you for being here when you was. But you know, honestly, guys, it's been great. Thank you for having me. My name's Adrian Moore. I pray that you have a lovely evening. Go and have the second part of dinner because that's what I'm gonna do now. You know, you have the first part of dinner, and then later on in the evening, you're gonna warm up a second part of the dinner. You go, yeah. That's my vibe now. So God bless you all. Have a lovely evening. All right, we're out.